Okay, we're back. We're kind of like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes on. Temperature in the flue is starting to rise nicely. We're not quite there yet, but we're kind of getting there quite rapidly. So we're kind of like, I don't know, 250 degrees, just edging on that best operating temperature. The fire itself is, really roaring. You can probably hear that draw. And of course I've put on the ubiquitous teapot because, hey, I might as well have a cup of tea in a 10-15 minutes time. So okay, so what I'm going to do now is add a bit more wood, give that a kind of a little rake over, get it controlled, and turn down some of the damping. So let's so when the stove's this kind of temperature, I mean the door's still relatively cold, but just be careful. Got some good gloves, makes life a little bit easier. Now this isn't going to be massively stable, so just be a little bit careful here. These lugs are starting to go nicely. I want to get that nice base in there. So your wood should be really nicely seasoned before you add it, before you burn it. That way you'll get the maximum heat generated. It won't be using up won't be using up heat to dry the wood. So I'm just going to take some nicely dried logs. Logs dry best obviously when split. You can feel the difference, they start to become light. So we just get those in, get it stacked up on the edges. And I've actually got a piece of what I think, well, it's a railway sleeper. I've always thought railway sleepers were made out of oak, but the colouring on this one might indicate that it's teak cut into little slices. Just going to throw that on the top. Okay. Now, as I've added a bit more wood, I'll leave the damping open for the minute, just to allow that to catch. We're just creeping up the 260 kind of temperature. Still leaving loads of air suck in, really going nicely. And what we'll do in a couple of minutes is close the door. As soon as we get into that kind of best operating zone, we're going to close the door on it, and there we go. And we're also going to drop off the bottom damper, because we got two air controls on here. One at the bottom, this is fully open, and if you push across, that's fully closed. Once your stoves go in, I keep that fully closed. I'm going to leave the top fully open for a while. It wood burns better with air from the top, and that will just keep on going nicely, and then we'll have somewhere to go. Well, I hope this has been useful to you. Any questions? Don't hesitate to email me. I'll see you on the next episode to live in a bit of a better life.